Ladies and gentlemen, it is a good. Oh God, I almost smashed my hands on my desk. It is a good day to be a Ravens fan. It is a fantastic day to be a Ravens fan. Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Major breaking news. I called this the other day that this is what Eric DeCosta is working on. This is his priority right now, and he got it done. Eric DeCosta announced yesterday that Kyle Hamilton has officially been extended, people. 4 years, 100 million. Ties him to at least 20 million per year, 80 million guaranteed. Highest paid safety in NFL history. Beats out Kirby Joseph's record-breaking contract, Detroit Lions Kirby Joseph record-breaking contract by 100K. So you got to one up, you know? Either way, we have extended Kyle Hamilton for the long run. It means that one, I'm going to buy my jersey. Two, we have the best safety in the NFL signed to the long run. Really well-deserved contract for Kyle Hamilton here. Absolutely 100% deserves it. This is not an overpaid situation. This is 100% well-deserved, people. I mean, what else can you say? The guy is one of the leading anchors on our defense. Without him, our defense, at least in the backfield, would not be the way it is. So 100% in full agreement with the amount of money he's going to make. And he commented on this saying it's a dream come true. He doesn't want money to change the way he is as a player or as a person. He's probably going to go buy a watch or something like that, and that's it. But truly humbling response to this. He is a Raven through and through, and he's staying a Raven. It just makes me so happy, man, that we were able to get him signed and extended. I'm gonna go. I said this just a second ago, but I'm buying my jersey, man. I like to wait until after the rookie contracts are over to go and buy a jersey. So that way, like, if we know that we're keeping this player for the long run, then that for sure I'm going to get their jersey. This made my day when I woke up this morning. Oh my gosh. And moving on here, some more familiar faces were signed to the Ravens practice squad. Two of them most notable. One, Brent Urban. No surprises here. He's well loved by the Ravens organization. The Ravens did mention that they were going to bring him back in some capacity. So Brent Urban's going to be signed to the practice squad, and he's going to stay a Raven. I truly believe that he will get a lot more playing time on the active roster as the season goes on. He will probably not be elevated from a practice squad to the main roster at some point during the season full time rather than just a practice squad elevation throughout games. The other, and I called this, Tyler Huntley. Ravens former backup QB Tyler Huntley. Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley. Waved off by the Browns a couple days ago. Ravens picked him up. Love this addition because Tyler Huntley knows this offense. He knows how to, maneuver this offense. Mind you, while Lamar was injured those couple seasons ago, he limped us into the playoffs and really tried his hardest to beat that Bengals. We all remember that game we were limping into that playoff game, and we were so close to beating them. Anyway, so Tyler Huntley back on the Ravens, and we could see him be a practice squad elevation for a backup position. I think Cooper Rush has solidified that position thus far, but you never know. Of course, we want, Lamar's going to play a full season. We want him to play a full season. We don't want him to get injured. And you never know if Huntley's going to just get some playing time in there at some point during the season just for Lamar to get some rest, towards the back end, when we've secured the number one seed in the AFC and Lamar doesn't have to play the last game of the season. Maybe they'll switch back and forth between Huntley and Cooper Rush. I don't know. But either way, love this pickup by the Ravens because, again, Huntley knows this organization, knows the players very well, and is good friends with Lamar Jackson. So, love this move by the Ravens, picking up an old face that once was their starting quarterback at one point during the season when Lamar went down. Moving on here, speaking on the topic of contracts, Eric DeCosta was asked about how he how he negotiates. And he said, I like to work in the dark. He acknowledged the Ravens just can't keep everyone and priorities have to be made. We understand that at some point we're going to have to see some good players leave. It's with every team. He's addressing what every team has done in the past. That at some point they just can't keep everyone. They have to think about what is best for the team. I'm not saying that this is like he's like foreshadowing anything. Like he's saying I can't keep this guy or I can't keep him or him. I gotta focus on this contract, and I'm sorry, but we're moving on from you. That's not what he's saying. He's addressing it as the broader topic of the fact that all teams cannot keep the players. Like at some point, they just can't. It's just way too much for the team to handle, and eventually they just have to go, listen, man, you're a great player, but we can't keep you. It's embracing reality a little bit here. He also was asked about how Lamar Jackson's contract negotiations are going. He said he's not going to comment on said negotiations. He said it's just not helpful to the process on either side to have the details get out. Makes sense because if details come out, this is I think it's more like a secret plan for him, because if negotiations come out, other teams could start looking at Lamar Jackson. You know, could start making offers if details do leak, and we don't want that as the Ravens. Other point is it's respectful for both sides to make sure that it's just them talking and not, because it looks bad if one or the other leaks the contract negotiations. Mind you, Lamar did this the first time because, rightfully so, he was a little bit upset with with the amount of money he was being offered, and he only did that tweet, the trade tweet, when he asked for a trade from the Ravens, according to him, to get the negotiation process really going. Like, hey, you got to cough it up. By the way, no team wanted him, which is weird. You're two-time MVP. Anyway, nowadays I feel like that it's a lot. Both of these guys, Lamar and Eric DeCosta, are a lot more aware of how each other works in a business side of things. So them just keeping it between the two of them, okay, fine. I 100% believe that Eric DeCosta and Lamar Jackson are going to come to an agreement at some point, either, I'm not, maybe I don't know if in the next couple of weeks or right before the season begins, because Lamar has stated he does not talk contracts during the season, or right after the 2026 seasons. So, it would be great if they can get it done sooner rather than later, but season is fast approaching, and Lamar's going to be fully locked into football once that week 1 game comes up. So it's only a matter of time before it's signed, but preferably just because of Lamar Jackson's cap hit, which I've mentioned time and time again, get it done sooner rather than later. So at the latest, it'll probably be at the end of the 2026 season. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I understand, again, why they just keep it behind closed doors, because it's just respectable for both men to not have any details come out about how they are negotiating or what any progress in the negotiation. Sure, it's bad for fans because we don't get to we aren't in the know-how. We aren't in any we aren't in the talks. They're like there's nothing for us to go off of. But I'm 100% I believe that the negotiations will be fruitful and Lamar Jackson will be extended again. Moving on here. So I have a hot take on Micah Parsons. And hear me out on this. Because according to sources, again, that the Ravens and Micah Parsons are linked together in some capacity. The Ravens are a candidate for a Micah Parsons landing zone, and it's quite possible. Mind you, I mentioned this in a previous video that the Cowboys are only looking for a Herculean deal for Micah Parsons. Hot take on this. Mind you, the Ravens have mentioned that they want to keep Mark Andrews, but they also are open to the idea if something came up for something worthy came up for a trade for Mark Andrews. It's been rumored for a little while now that at the end of the day, I've said this many times, the NFL is a business. The Ravens want to look out for their best players and look for the best players that they can get on a sweet deal that benefits them. So, hot take. What if the Ravens trade Mark Andrews, second round pick, to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons? Mind you, this is something of a hot take here, because at the same time, you gotta figure out if this benefits you. The Cowboys with Mark Andrews would be much better than their current tight end room with Jake Ferguson. Nothing against him, but Mark Andrews is a little bit more talented. Just saying, that's the deal I would offer. It's a hot take. I get it. If you don't want to trade a second round pick, trade a third and a fourth and Mark Andrews. But there's the deal for you. It makes the most sense if the Ravens were to go through with a trade level like this. Comment down below on your thoughts about this. Thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will catch you all later.